Son shit, y'all ready?
I hope y'all are. This episode is about Oklahoma. That sounds like that's a Tennessee. Is that a whose play is that? That's a play. Oklahoma is a play. And for some reason I just wanted to say Tennessee Williams. I remember while I was out here collecting actual vinyl records. I had a gang of Tennessee Williams records. Like I literally had half of a milk crate filled with Tennessee Williams records. And then the rest of it filled out with regular show tunes and musicals. I was wilding back then. Actually, I wasn't. I love music. I was out here just rocking. I had West Side Story, the Guys and Dolls joints. I had joints. Grease. I ain't talking about the motion picture soundtrack. I'm talking about the musical joint. You know what I mean? I had joint cats. Don't ask. I just had joints. I'm out here wilding. Anyway, I had a gang of Tennessee Williams records. Wow. Anyway, that just had me because I'm like, I don't know why but Oklahoma was a joint, right? Oklahoma was a play or something. A movie. It was something, man. It is what it is. But anyway, this episode is about the state of Oklahoma. For those who don't know, as we're going to get into it, Oklahoma was the closest thing that we had as black people to the promised land, to the guarantee of Reconstruction. It was the closest thing that we had to America fulfilling its promise to now free men and women, former slaves. That was the close. Oklahoma was it. Oklahoma was it. You know what I mean? And it was wild. So salute to Oklahoma, even now. Salute to Oklahoma today, like right now. Please do the research on Oklahoma history. And you're gonna see some messed up stuff because with the Native Americans, they had to move them out the way. You know what I mean, to get this popping. So, and that was, oh my God, when you look up that stuff, that's a horrible thing. Black people came in and was like, yo, we're gonna go out here to this new, at the time, territory. Boom. And like you'll see the names of small little towns and stuff and how rich everything was. And then it'll just, where we at now. You know what I mean? That's where it's just, But that's what this episode is about. The state of Oklahoma and how it could have very well have been a black state. For real, like I said, don't just listen to me. Do your research. Check out Oklahoma's history. Oklahoma has a rich black history. Oklahoma, again, I ain't even gonna get into that. Oklahoma territory has a wild, rich American history. And when I say American, I mean the whole story of I say it all the time, man. There is a history of our country that will never be spoken on because it has nothing to do with the settlers. It has nothing to do with the slaves that they brought over. It has nothing to do with the battles against Native Americans to take over their land. Pre-America as we know it. You know somebody who know these stories, know the history of that. Listen to them. And it's wild sometimes to like listen to somebody who knows about their ancestors and they're telling you these crazy stories. Again, pre-colonization. It'll blow your mind. You're like, what? Yo, that's wild. You know, after all of that comes the Oklahoma territory. Free slaves, free men, free women. I had a Sparta moment right there. I felt like, you know what I'm saying? I really was like free men, free women in Sparta. Had that moment. I was right there. Anyway, that's what we doing, man. That's what this episode is about. Thank y'all for listening. East Coast, West Coast, worldwide, Lost Boys. Rest in peace to Freaky Ty. Boom. That's a little different because somebody probably listening going, East Coast, West Coast, world. I can't remember the name of that Lost Boys song where they say it and they're like, to the east, to the west, worldwide, in the ride, look, I'm pretty sure the whole title was in that little mumble. Anyway, thank y'all for listening, man. And we will do a thank you thing around the end of the year because I saw my Spotify thing and it was like, yo, the rap. I know y'all done seen everybody out here got their rap joints up. Like, yeah, man, they say we be out here killing it. I want to thank y'all, man. I want to thank y'all a lot for listening all around the world. And like I said, I see it when I'm looking at my thing. And I'm like, yo, this is dope. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even, again, next year I'm going to really put my foot down and do a lot more promoting and sparking this up. You know what I mean? And this next year we going to be everywhere. It's going to be a lot of stuff. That's not even just talking for this podcast. It's a lot of stuff I personally will be doing because hip hop as a culture will be 50 years old next year. My hip hop group that I'm proudly a part of will be on their 30th anniversary. Just joints, man. Just joint. I think the mix show will be going on, I think, close to the 15th year anniversary. So yeah, man, it's just, it's a lot going on 2023. And we gonna be here doing it, and we gonna rock out. And like I said, we gonna try to start getting some people to chop it up and talk this history talk or talk this. And it's wild because when I come across people I want to talk to, I'm like, some dudes be like really ready to go super like anti everybody. It's like, I feel you, man, but sometimes it's just like, just the dope history. The rest of that's like, I don't want to box myself in. Like, there's a lane where you're just like, they're so pro-black that you're like, they're not listening to the history. They're listening to the tragedy. I don't know if y'all understand. Like, slavery is a tragedy, but the historic fact of it is we built this country. You know what I'm saying? The historic fact of it is we invented so much practical stuff that are still being used today. I don't even know if I got into that part of it. Black man invented the doorknob. I gotta go back and look and see. I swear to God, I dropped that episode on the Mix Show. Might not have, but I'm just saying, we are there. We are continuous. You know what I'm saying? So to talk about the tragedy and all the other racism and not talk about the beauty and the contributions, it don't balance out. And that's what my whole thing was. I can talk about the tragedies, but I definitely always want to talk about the contributions, the unsung heroes. You know what I'm saying? The moments like Oklahoma, which became a refuge for newly free people who were like, yo, definitely can't stay down south. And up north got funny ways. Let me go over here. And that's what they saw. That's what they engaged with. And that's what they did. That was how you had a Tulsa. That's how you had what you had going out there in Tulsa with the Black Wall Street, because it was just them. There was a FUBU moment, for us, by us. And they was just out here like, yo, bringing the money within each other. Using the trains, imports and exports to put their joints out there, to get joints in and still keep the money circulating in-house. You know what I'm saying? And nobody had to tell them to do that. They understood that it was just them. This is how it had to be. We get our food from the black farmers because white people aren't going to deal with us. We know black people know how to farm because they were slaves. So boom, they're growing crops. Boom, boom, boom. It was what you had to do, man. And like I said, to talk about the tragedies is easy, but to talk about the beauty and the ingenuity and the know about and the feeling, the vibe out and the know how to rise up and keep it moving, that's the part of the game that I think a lot of people miss. So like when I be talking to guys and they get all like, yo, dude, you're like, yo, nah, I can't really get down with you, man. Like, you're not looking at the bigger picture. You're focused on this piece of the picture, and you're not stepping back and seeing the totality. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, but like I said, like I gotta definitely connect with some people who are definitely understanding that it's a bigger picture, broad strokes, look at everything, absorb everything, enjoy everything. It's just like that. But thank y'all for rocking with me. Thank y'all for listening. Like I said, by the end of the year, we're gonna definitely do the thank you episode for the year and all that. This is that episode. Oklahoma. I think I did too much talking right now. I ended up going totally off somewhere else. I'm bringing it back. This is about Oklahoma. Thank y'all for listening. Do your research yourselves, please, and be enthralled by this joint, man. Just be like, oh my God, this is dope. I like this. And enjoy. Let's go. Yes. Hey, man, you know what we do. You know how we do. This is what we get down with. I was out here bugging. We threw the joint on. You like, yo. No, my man ain't just hit y'all off with that whoop-de-whoop. I hit y'all off with that whoop. That's what I call that when you be out here with that 50. That 50 got that banger. You know what I mean? Oh, before I go any further, because I totally messed up on this. Missed out on this opportunity to say it earlier. Salute to Bad Boy G. You know what I'm saying? Hey, they did the interview joint. They played my man's song last night. This is how dope Bad Boy G is, and I peeped the style on it too. He was like, yo, so-and-so called in. It was like, yo, I'm feeling the joint. I'm like, okay, because it was hot. It was heat. Let's keep it a buck. He like, yo, so-and-so called. They said that joint popping. And then they be like, yo, and they asked about this, clicked up on him. So-and-so called, talking, and then they clicked up on him. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay. Now, it got to a point where he was like, he was talking to this dude, and the dude kept talking, and then he clicked up on my man. I'm like, oh, you gangster for that. We peeping you. I see you, man. Hey, always a dope show. This is why I ride with Legal Crime, because we be out here just having some heat. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, I be peeping it. And then, you know what I'm saying? I can't always be like, yo. But, yeah, I just wanted to say that, like, yo, that had me bugged. Because he was like, you know, so-and-so called up, boom, and yada. And it was like, then all of a sudden, he was like, yeah, I put the dip on that one. I'm like, yo, gangster, when you can do that. He's like, yeah, I put the dial to. Remember back in the day? And that was just a blip, and that's it. But remember back in the day, you be like, ooh, I'm about to put that DT on them. Chicks get all wild. You be like, word, okay. They get the dial tone. You know what I mean? But anyway, this is that time of the night when we get into the history moment. Like I told y'all, this is gonna be a dope one. You know what I mean? So, you know how I go down, man. Y'all know what we do and what we do. Take it from the top. This moment in Black history. What we gonna talk about right here is Oklahoma. Oklahoma as a state and the blackness of Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? We all know about the tragedy about Tulsa, but what y'all don't know is decades before that, when Oklahoma was still just a territory, non-Native Americans could go out, grab land, and prosper. And nobody took bigger advantage than that, than former slaves. They ran up into Oklahoma, and they just planted flags like, yo, this is us. Many towns that no longer exist prospered. At one point, it was actually thought that Oklahoma would actually be a black state. That's how many black people were rushing into that and setting up joints and having money divert. Because you gotta think about it, slavery was over, and it was like, yo, we don't want to go over here. We can't stay in the South because the South is wild. And we really didn't want to go up north because, you know what I'm saying, it was the thing where it was like, yeah, we know that what's going on, but we don't want to be part of that either. considered the promised land. Because y'all know after slavery, the Reconstruction hit. They never gave black people land. They never helped black people get by or figured out a way to have everybody coexist peacefully. Like, you know what I mean? So Oklahoma was that thing. Oklahoma was that refuge. It was one of those states where it was a refuge. And a lot of black people went out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just that joint. African American leaders had a vision to turn it into like an all-black state. You know what I'm saying? Then you had a lot of the legislative people coming up with new rules, new moves. Be like, nah, that ain't jumping, son. We ain't letting that be a thing. I don't know what y'all thinking on that part. A lot of dudes, a lot of families, a lot of people found themselves going to Canada because all of a sudden Canada was like, yo, we got some extra territory. You know what I'm saying? Basically, they were opening it up for white Americans, white people. Black people was like, yo, they tripping out here in Oklahoma. I'm, again, not trying to deal with that stuff down south at all. And the north ain't really, like I said, you know what I'm saying? They got their joints. So they dipped to Canada. Then you had, for the ones who did stay, like I said, the Jim Crow, like the Jim Crow-ness of everything was really getting wild. And then we remember the 1920s and the 1930s, which got wild. A lot of cities, a lot of towns were burned down. Like Tulsa wasn't the only one in Oklahoma. It was just the most notable one because of the money that Black Wall Street was bringing in. You know what I'm saying? Farmlands, you know what I'm saying, got caught up in a lot of BS stuff too. So farmers found themselves having to like bounce out because again, the white people were like, yo, we gonna take a lot of this from y'all. We gonna do a lot of stuff here. There was such a distrust, you know what I'm saying, back in them days that like I said, white people felt like, yo, they about to really take Oklahoma from us. You know what I mean? And it was wild. Then they came up with tax laws, and a lot of people couldn't afford things. Like I said, you got the what was that joint? The Great Depression hit hard. So you got high taxes, Great Depression, money ain't popping. You're figuring out all stuff. The railroad systems are down. Money, like the export and the import ain't really popping. So then more black people even left Oklahoma. But for those that don't know, yeah, Oklahoma was gonna be that joint. Oklahoma was really looking like what we think Atlanta is, what we think Georgia is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you think, DC, Maryland, and all that type of joint. They was really like Oklahoma was going to be that spot. You know what I'm saying? Like today, there's only 13 historical all-black towns that still are around out there. You know what I'm saying? And that was like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Man, with that being said, I want to switch gears real quick. Salute to and that's wild because man, I just forgot the name of it. It's George something, I think. I don't know. Prince George, whatever. There's a new spot out there in Maryland of blackness. You know what I'm saying? Affluent blackness that's now the new spot to be. Salute Maryland, for y'all that don't know, man. Maryland has a lot of hot pockets where black excellence is at its peak. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Like Carolinas do too. We all know about Atlanta, but there's other spots in Georgia that also hold that. You know what I'm saying? And again, and I bring that up because Oklahoma had that thing. Oklahoma was that spot that actually was the closest thing to way before Martin Luther King's dream, but the promise that was guaranteed to former slaves. And then you fast forward, and all that stuff that happened, and to see that there are still neighborhood communities, forget neighborhood, community living areas of black people who make good money coming together and still doing their thing. When it comes to, you know what I'm saying, just positive, peaceful areas, there's those pockets too of blackness where it ain't ghetto and hood, and it's just, yo, it's just nice to be in that area, and you know what I mean? And it's like, yo, alright, and the people on bougie. Don't get it. Y'all know what I mean. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's just like regular folk people, you know what I mean? And it's just dope to have that vibe sometimes, man. But this is that history lesson, man. I just was like, yo, what we gonna do with it? How we gonna do with it? And I was like, yo, I wanted to do something like that. And especially speak on Oklahoma, because like I said, we all know about the Tulsa thing, but to understand that there was an even deeper situation with that. Like, that Tulsa thing was bubbling decades before that. Just because, again, Tennessee was at that time the blackest state in America. And for what white people were around it, their whole fear was like, yo, we don't trust that the government has really got our back on trying to, like, not let them take this over. Oklahoma was still young. It had just stopped being a territory and became a state. You know what I mean? So the infancy of the state and this massive emergence of blackness, yeah, it was scary back there. You know it had to be, man. But anyway, that's the history moment. Let's get back into this music. We got a little less than 30 minutes. We do what we do. Get at me on Twitter, Facebook, the Gram, YouTube, and all these other joints out there. Check out this stuff right here that I do right here on the podcast, Our World, Our Time. You know what I'm saying? On most streaming services that do podcasts, I'm always looking to see if there's new spots. I'm always like, yo, that's dope. Yo, so yeah, man, let's get it back into this music. Let's go. Yes, hey, that's my time. Woo! Y'all ain't understand. I was out here zoned out. I took it to the classics. Them joints your mama throw on when you out here cleaning up and all that. Them joints that you know when the gatherings gets together, barbecues, the family just connected, you know what I mean? Thanksgiving, Christmas, somebody just, for whatever reason, man, somebody come through. Yo, salute to the impromptu parties, get together joints. You remember them joints? I don't know, like, that's the thing, I don't think we get out and just chop it up enough for that. Like, now everything has to be like playing to the T. Remember, like, so-and-so would come through, or you went to so-and-so's house with your peoples, even as adults, you know what I'm saying? It's like young adults, you know what I mean? Like, but definitely as kids, so-and-so would go to somebody else's house, and then somebody else would just pop through to just be chopping it up, like, yo, I came through, oh, snap, you here, word, and they get to talking and reminiscing, or they get to talking about something that's going on current in their lives, and then somehow the reminiscing goes on, and they like, yo, pull that joint out, and throw that joint on the record. And then it's a whole nother thing, man. And then somebody calls up, like, hey, what y'all? Oh yeah, so and them over here. We out here wilding. Oh word, I'm about to come through. Them joints is over, man. Them was them joints, man. And then all of a sudden they call you in the house to do the dance. They call you in the house to flip another. Hey, where that one record at, man? Where that one tape at? Where that 8-track at? The one, yeah, nah, you had it last. Where that joint at? You know what I mean? Boom, because you know how it is. When we was kids, we had our favorite joints. You know what I'm saying? Them joints we had in the cut. When the people get to playing and they ain't pull that out, they ain't throw that in the mix. So you like, I'm gonna put this in the mix. And they were like, I ain't had that in my little playlist. I wanted to hear this. You got me cleaning with you. I want to hear this. That was what we did, man. That was how we got down back in them days, man. Salute to growing up, man. Like, these kids don't understand. Like, when I say kids, I'm talking kids. I ain't even talking like 20s and 30s. I'm talking about these kids don't understand, man. The impromptu connections. Even as kids, when you went out, you saw somebody and then you were like, yo, let's go get somebody else. And y'all go get somebody. And next thing you know, it's like a whole group of y'all doing something that y'all ain't had no idea what y'all was doing. Football game, or just out here flipping and rocking and playing, man. Bring it back. Hold on. We ain't done. Don't take me off the joint like I'm on the Oscars. Bring it up. You know what I mean? But anyway, man, let me get ready to get up out of here. I'm out here reminiscing and I'm past my time on this. I will holler at y'all Saturday. You know how we do on Saturdays. Everything's on the floor on Saturdays. We do what we do. So with that being said, let me say it like this. They say you only live once. That's a lie. You only die once. So anytime that your God allows you to get out here and continue your journey, don't be afraid to sometimes look back and think about all the dope stuff that you've been through, but keep focused on where you're trying to get to. Y'all be safe. Peace. That right there was dope though, right? I'm nasty with it. Peace.
This is a Soul of Art presentation.